say poverty no real then, is what the reason revealing.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows, sending love to my friends and foes. And I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. I provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees. Release, yeah.
When the rain hit a pot on the roof, herb just a steam pepper pot on the stew. Life is a dream if you got gratitude. So go tell the regime them can't stop what we do now. Information you think on your own, or else you're a slave to the things that you know. What do you know if you learn every day? So be careful of things where you say.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows, sending love to my friends and foes. And I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. I provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees. Release.
Africa in our soul, but a Jah in our heart. It is of importance for I and I gather. If we cannot show now a balance that we are, how do we propose then to carry it abroad? Cannot go to Ethiopia and you not have a plan. The building of a nation and a helper on. Every one a lover, one a man is just a man. It shall be a coronation when we land.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows, sending love to my friends and foes. And I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. I provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees. Release, well.
And I say we just
who
moving
knows?
on.
Who knows?
Yeah, man.
Who knows, babe?
We just move with Jah every time.
I'm pleased
And give
to
thanks,
be
you know.
chilling in the West Indies.
You see that smile on
I
me, man.
provide all my wants and my needs, oh Dre. Oh well.
Medication, your medication makes me high. Just be patient. I'm like a patient trying to find levitation. Run your fingers down my spine, elevation. Your medication makes me high.
Such a short way up and such a long way down. And this is a bubble like where they are right down. The way you're something up it off your way by pound. In a field of marijuana, that is my playground. I love you, Mary Jane. You're the prettiest of flowers, girl, me can't complain. When I'm with you, I feel so high, I rise above the rain. And you know the people damage like that bitch cocaine. No, I leave them lonely, feeling only pain. Cause your DNA is of the highest strain. Your effect is so potent, it's so insane. You so gummy and sticky like a plaster stain. When you grind out your body, only stems remain. And to love you is so risky, I might get detained. You always keep me flying on the highest plane. And anybody know will always proclaim.
Medication, your medication makes me high. Just be patient. I'm like a patient trying to find levitation. Run your fingers down my spine, elevation. Your medication makes me high.
Your leaves of green, your purples and blues, has cured little kids and old women too. And I say to myself, what a wonderful herb. And I say to myself, what a wonderful herb. Look how Babylon stood up in. Them fight you for years, for your love only a man serve years. Babylon stood up in. Them fight you for years. I know the whole of them are buy shares. You should be a celebrity amongst any tree across the 7 seas for your energy, but you're an enemy, catching felonies for the remedies in your recipes.
Medication, your medication makes me high. Just be patient. I'm like a patient trying to find levitation. Run your fingers down my spine, elevation.
And she never post ripe, it was a real slow speed.
Good afternoon,
No
everyone,
fertilizer,
and
natural
welcome
baby
to
feed.
this
No
week's
cross pollination, she's a real pure breed.
webinar
Cultivated
entitled
with love, and
The
she's
Future
not
of
grown for
Sport,
greed. She's
Technology,
everything I want and
and
also all I need.
Physical Education and Sport. My name is Stephanie Griffiths, and I am one of your hosts for this afternoon. Joining me is my co host, Mr. Kurt Dale. Welcome, Mr. Dale. This webinar is hosted by the master's students of the joint postgraduate program offered by GC Foster College of Physical Education and Sport. And this is in collaboration with the University of Technology, Jamaica. The webinar is sponsored by Flavor Solutions, our service provider, and Miss Kamala Smith. And I'd like to thank our sponsors for making this event a possibility. Allow me to also acknowledge our distinguished guests. Mr. Maurice Wilson, Principal of GC Foster College of Physical Education and Sport, Mrs. Yuta Walsh, and also Dr. Burnett, who are the Master's Program Coordinators. We are honored to have you with us this afternoon. To our participants across the various platforms, thank you for joining us. Today's webinar features a guest speaker, panelists, and presenters who will explore how emerging technologies and STEAM-based approaches are shaping the future of physical education and sport. We hope you find this session intriguing and equally informative and thought-provoking. Without further ado, it gives me great pleasure in handing over to my co-host, Mr. Dale, who will guide us through the first segment of this program.
Thank you, Mrs. Griffiths, and good afternoon once again, everyone. I'm delighted to be leading you through the first half of today's webinar as we explore the exciting intersection of STEAM, physical education, and sport. I encourage you to stay engaged, share your thoughts. At the moment, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. We'll be right back. Currently, we are experiencing some technical difficulties. Please bear with us. We'll have this sorted in short order. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar entitled The Future of Sports, Technology, and STEAM in Physical Education and Sport. My name is Stephanie Griffiths, and I'm one of your hosts for this afternoon. Joining me is my co host, Mr. Kurt Dale. This webinar is hosted by the Master's Program offered by GC Foster College and the University of Technology. This webinar is sponsored by Flavor Solutions, who is our service provider, as well as Ms. Kamala Smith. I'd like to thank our sponsors for making this webinar a possibility. I'd also wish to acknowledge our distinguished guests. Mr. Maurice Wilson, Principal of GC Foster College of Physical Education and Sport, Mrs. Yuta Walsh, and Dr. Burnett, Master's Program Coordinators. We are honored to have you with us this afternoon. To our participants across the various online platforms, thank you for joining us. Today's webinar promises to be an exciting and a very informative and thought-provoking one. We do invite you to engage and participate in all the activities that are prepared for you. Without further ado, it gives me great pleasure in handing over to my co-host, Mr. Kurt Dale, who will guide us through the first segment of the program. Enjoy.
Thank you, Mrs. Stephanie Griffiths. And we do again apologize for the technical difficulty we had earlier. And good afternoon once again to everyone. I'm delighted to be leading you through the first half of today's webinar as we explore the exciting intersection of STEAM and physical education. I encourage you to stay engaged, share your thoughts, and enjoy today's session. The future of education and sport is evolving, and STEAM is helping to reshape how we teach, learn, move, and solve real-life challenges. Throughout today's webinar, we'll explore how STEAM is strengthening education, transforming physical education, and preparing students with the skills they need for the future. Before we hear from our guest speaker, let's make this interactive from the very start. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to launch a quick poll to get your perspective and set the stage for today's discussion. I will now be bringing the poll on screen. There we go. Which of these skills is most important for students' future? A, critical thinking and problem solving. B, creativity. C, collaboration and communication. D, all of the above. Remember, there are no right or wrong answers. Take a minute to cast your vote. I look forward to hearing your responses. Interestingly, I was leaning towards problem solving. As it relates, we are still having some technical difficulties with the responses, but I will be checking back sometime later in the program to see what you guys said. So at this time, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our featured speaker, Dr. Marcia Rowe Amunde. Dr. Roa Munde is a senior director at the Human Employment and Resource Training Agency, Jamaica. She leads a portfolio focused on the development of instructional resources and occupational standards, the advancement of flexible online training and career development initiatives. Throughout her career, She has played a pivotal role in strengthening technical and vocational education and training in Jamaica and across the Caribbean. She has provided leadership in integrating TVET into the formal education system at both the secondary and tertiary levels, while also overseeing the monitoring and evaluation of national TVET programs and initiatives. Her distinguished career includes serving as principal of the Vocational Training Development Institute, UNESCO and UNIVOC Cluster Coordinator for the Caribbean, and the official delegate for World Skills Jamaica. Dr. Roa Monde holds a diploma in teaching from Sam Shark Teachers College, a Bachelor's of Art with honors from the University of West Indies, a Master's in Science in Training System Design from the University of Twente in the Netherlands, and a doctorate from the University of Manchester in the United Kingdom. With a research focus on effective learning in technical and vocational education and training, TVET. She also holds professional certifications in TVET leadership from UNESCO and UNIVOC and the International Labour Organization, as well as certifications in project management, change management, and competency-based education and training. An accomplished presenter and researcher, Dr. Roa Monde has delivered presentations at numerous conferences on effective learning with the context of competency-based education and training. Her publications focus on TVET leadership, flexible online learning, and strengthening TVET within the secondary school system. Above all, she is passionate about the transformative power of education and is committed to empowering young people, particularly those who are marginalized or considered at risk, through meaningful learning opportunities. Join me in giving a warm virtual welcome to Dr. Marcia Roa Monde. We are honored to have her with us today.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Dale, for that warm introduction. It is really a pleasure to be with you all. I greet you all along with your other host, your co-host, Ms. Stephanie Griffiths. I would also like to greet the principal of the GC Foster College, Mr. Maurice Wilson, to Miss Yuta Walsh, greetings as well, and Dr. Bernadette. And I just want to congratulate them on integrating this kind of experience in your program. I think this is real, authentic experience when you can come and deliver a seminar to share knowledge like this among each other. It is where we are going as professionals, and it's good that we begin to start to develop that skill, to refine it, and to reach out to others as we embrace lifelong learning, even after you are finished with your program. So I also want to wish you all the very best in your program. Let me just ensure that this is on slideshow. From the, yes, wonderful. Are you seeing my screen very well now? Can I get some response from the screen? Are you seeing my screen? Are you hearing me? No? I'm not sure what is happening. Oh. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? No?
Yes,
Not
doctor, we
sure.
are hearing you at the moment, but we are unable to see your screen.
Oh, I am going to try sharing it again. So I am sharing.
You might have to
screen.
remove the virtual background.
Oh, okay. All right, so let me go to settings. I think that's where I was told that it's at. None, okay. All right. Are you seeing the screen? Are you seeing me now?
We are seeing you now.
Okay, I'm going to try to share the
Still not
screen
seeing
again.
your screen. Try to share it now.
Are you seeing it now?
Still not seeing it.
I am not sure what is happening. But I'll just have to I'm going to, just as I was told yesterday, on this new platform, to go to Windows.
All right, Dr. Amonde,
Yes.
we're going to bring you off stage. We're going to bring you back
Yes.
off stage and get it started in the background, and then we'll bring you back.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay.
So while we wait on Dr. Amonde to come back, we'll go back to the poll questions. I'm now seeing some responses coming in from the YouTube. Interestingly, as I had predicted, some persons are saying problem solving. That's quite an interesting choice, because in life, we have to make a lot of choices and we have to navigate ourselves through difficult situations. And that's a part of the essence of STEAM. And that will come out more in our presentation later on when we get Dr. Amonde back on stage. In the meantime, feel free to type other options. If you're just coming on, we'll bring the poll back up on screen. Producer, please bring the poll back on screen for those joining. In order to engage early in this interested, innovative, engaging webinar that we are about to have, we want to get the audience involved early. So we're going to bring a poll question back on the screen. Which of these skills is most important for students' future? Take a minute to read the responses and type your response in the chat. All right, so while you keep thinking about your response, we're going to move into another interesting part of the program, myth versus reality.
So this is your girl Amoy. I'm here trying to find out.
Fellow master student Amoy Archer took to the field to get some more perspective. Let's see what they had to say.
What myth or reality concepts the street knows about physical education and STEAM. Technology has no real place in physical education. Myth or reality?
Myth.
So that is actually a myth. Technology can be used to time races, record performances, and even give a video feedback on skill improvement. Dance activities in PE support the art component of STEAM. Reality. That is actually reality. Dance, rhythmic movement, and creative movement activities encourages self-expression, creativity, communication, and artistic development. Mathematics is regularly used in physical education lessons.
That's a reality. Based on the exercise activities that we're doing, we have to ensure the number of students we have, the number of stations that we'd like to set up for them, to also ensure that students get sufficient time to do the skill properly.
That is actually a reality. Students measure distances, calculate scores, compare times, and analyze performance statistics and track improvements over time. Students can learn science concepts during PE lessons.
Myth.
That is actually reality. Students learn about heart rate, fitness, exercise, nutrition, and the effects of physical activities on the body. For example, Measuring pulse rate before the exercise and after exercise demonstrates scientific principles in action. STEAM in PE only benefits high-performing athletes.
Myth. The STEAM in the PE can be applicable to the students based on where they are and what you need to get them going or for them to achieve based on their current situation. All individuals can make use of that approach, but it will be led by the teacher's ability to assess and analyze and choose the pathway for the individuals in their classes.
That is actually a myth. STEAM benefits all students by developing critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, and problem-solving skills, regardless of athletic ability. STEAM integration in PE requires expensive equipment.
No, that's a myth because I use simple stopwatches and codes in my classes, and that's not expensive.
That is actually a myth. Many STEAM activities can be completed using simple resources such as measuring tapes, smartphones, codes, and even worksheets. So if you're looking to have an effective STEAM integration, it is more about teaching strategies rather than costly equipment. Physical education can help prepare students for future careers.
Reality.
That is actually a reality. Through STEAM integration, students develop skills relevant to careers in teaching, coaching, health promotions, fitness training, sports management, physical therapy, recreation, and sports technology. They said it, you heard it. What more myth or reality do you think is out there for physical education and STEAM? I'm out.
Thank you, Amor. It's always interesting to hear the different perspectives. Those responses show exactly why conversations like these are so important. I am one of them who also initially thought STEAM needed expensive technology. So apparently it is a common myth. This is one of the biggest misconceptions about STEAM in education. Many people immediately think about robots when they hear about STEAM, 3D printers. Those ideas come naturally, but STEAM can use simple technology. What are some ideas you think can be used? What are simple technology that you think can be used in STEAM? As we await Dr. Amonde, you can type your responses in the chat. Now we get ready to invite back on stage our guest presenter, and trust me, this will be worth the wait. Welcome and welcoming back on stage Dr. Marcia Rowe Amunde.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dale. Are you hearing me now? Are you hearing me clearly? Hello? Are you hearing me?
Yes, doctor,
Hello?
I'm hearing you clearly. Go ahead. I'm hearing you clearly.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience.
That's fine. It's really a pleasure interacting with you today, interacting on a topic that's very dear to me. So to the host, Miss Griffiths, and to you, Mr. Kurt Dale, I bring you greetings, along with the principal of GC Foster, Mr. Maurice Wilson, who I realize is also online because you made reference to him earlier. I also want to greet Miss Yuta Walsh and Dr. Bernadette, and to congratulate them on building these kinds of experiences in your program. There are real life experiences, and they're part of STEAM education, because STEAM is about integrating the technology. It's also about knowledge sharing. It's very wide. So it refers to the discrete skills, science, technology, arts, and mathematics, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, those discrete areas. But it also refers to the STEAM skills. And the STEAM skills are the ones that you have given me for your topic today: the innovation and the creativity and the 21st century learning, the critical thinking and the problem solving. So those are important STEAM areas. Now you ask, what is STEAM? We have previously been referred into it as STEM, but we have moved away and we have added the arts. It's really about an educational program designed to prepare those at the primary level, the secondary level, and the tertiary level in those discrete areas. That's one perspective of STEAM, STEM. But it is also, as I said, about the STEAM skills, developing inquiring minds, logical reasoning. It's also about collaboration, and it increases the supply of qualified graduates ready to go into the workforce. So it is equipping you with the skills that will enable you to be ready for the world of work. Even as we contemplate digitalization, and 21st century skills. And that's a work I'm involved in at the Heart and Estate Trust, where I lead the curriculum development initiatives. And STEAM, those are skills that we work to integrate in the curriculum. So you will see in all our instructional resources the related STEAM areas as well as the STEAM skills. Another definition of STEAM, it's an approach to teaching and learning. It integrates the content of skills, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So there we go. We have another definition. Next slide. It fosters innovation, and you are right on in terms of understanding what it's about. It's reflected in the topic for today. It fosters creativity, 21st century learning, and it's about putting the learner at the heart of what we do and developing these skills that will lead to transformation, critical thinking, collaboration, problem solving. And this is given priority because earlier this year, the Ministry of Education had a week that was devoted to STEAM. I've also seen where the Micro University is advertising quite a number of scholarships in STEAM. And we have talked about many of our teachers who are leaving to somewhat greener pastures who are in the STEAM areas. And we see that being reflected in what is happening in the schools. I've known of students who wanted to do biology and are not able to do so because they never had enough teachers at the school to have another group. So it is about the transdisciplinary nature of the curriculum. It integrates these areas in the curriculum. It makes connections between technology, engineering, and other fields. And content is delivered through action-based activities that involve the use of technology, the different tools to design and to develop authentic tasks. So we think about project-based, real-life learning. That is a critical aspect of STEAM. Just like you are doing today, this reflects what you will be required to do as you go out in the world of work. Some of you are already out there and practicing these skills. Next slide. Attributes of a STEAM environment. You use the engineering design process, and we're going to look at that a little later on. Engage in the scientific process. It's about solving issues. You apply mathematical practices. So at heart, when we look at the curriculum, we say we apply the related mathematics and the related sciences as they relate to agriculture, or it can be mechanical technology, or automotive, or agriculture, whatever those areas may be, it is related areas in the STEAM concept that we apply. It's appropriate uses of technology. It supports collaboration. It supports communication. It encourages our students to take risk because they are able to generate solutions to the problems and the issues they face. And it's about the alignment of the STEAM lessons with real life context. And it does not matter what discipline you're in physical education, you can apply the STEAM concept and the STEAM principles. We also spend a lot of time looking at some of the STEAM occupations. This is a part of my role as well. We have to research and present to our trainees, to the various students that we interact with, the different STEAM occupations. We see them coming out in renewable energy. We see some of them even coming out in construction. We talk about digital construction. I heard robotics mentioned earlier. So, and the different, what we refer to as green jobs. These are the jobs that really draw on the environment and pay attention to protecting the environment, using resource efficiently. And that is also on the agenda now as we talk about STEAM, and more of our jobs, more of our careers are going to be integrating these very environmental skills that protect the environment. So there we have it, right across all disciplines. We integrate these green and these STEAM principles. As I said earlier, T is for technology. It's about, and when we were going to college way back when, we used to use a lot of charts. And, you know, in order to, that was the simple technology, the simple tool for getting across and getting our students engaged. But nowadays, there are all kinds of digital tools online that we can help our students to integrate and to get our students to really be excited about learning. I just completed a blended learning course because I also teach online, and it was to develop my skills in better engaging my students online. And I found it so very exciting because there is a plethora of tools out there that we can use to integrate in our online lessons to make them exciting and to make learning come alive, and for us to also apply the STEAM skills. Yes, that can be done online. It's also about, as I mentioned this, and I keep mentioning this, innovation, looking at the natural environment and looking at what is there and what are the solutions that we can propose in order to satisfy our wants and our needs. So it's also about getting our students very excited, eager to solve problems and to generate solutions to the issues that they encounter around them. Next slide. So real world learning, 21st century skills, project-based learning. So it's no longer about rote learning and regurgitating. It is really getting them to develop these important skills. At heart, we refer to them as employability skills. So in addition to the technical skills, they have to be able to communicate, you know, and think critically and solve problems. So all of these are integrated in the technical areas, and they are also offered as discrete seminars or workshops. So we may offer a workshop, say, for example, in teamwork or even in critical thinking. And another one that's very important, and it's also a STEAM skills, it's digital literacy. How to go online and access and use the information in a responsible and ethical way. And I know immediately you will also think of artificial intelligence. So a lot is going on around in that space when we talk about STEAM. Very wide and covers quite a number of areas. Next slide. So that's the engineering process where, and this reminds you also, for those who have done the different sciences, you know, you define the problem, you generate it, just like when you're doing your lab experiments and so on, you select the solutions, test the solutions, you can make an item, you evaluate the item, and you present results. So this is one of the ways we can apply it in our classrooms. It can go across all disciplines, including physical education, and it's one way to get our students excited about learning. Next slide. The design process is used to solve problems. It can be used in any order to produce best results, and it is about, you know, finished products. So at the end, they see something. And in the area that I am, which is in TVET, this aligns so well with the philosophy and the approach to delivering TVET, which we refer to as a competency-based approach. And it's about producing something, doing something, applying the learning. So yes, the cognitive part is very important. And I'm a strong believer in that knowledge and the metacognitive skills. But equally important for us, it's the application of the knowledge where you can, and we have to do that a lot in the different TVET areas. You do a prototype, you have to build a wall, you do it in food preparation, where you have to make various dishes, and baking. We also do it in ICT, you know, where you have to design a website. So it is a lot when it comes on the design process in STEAM about making something. Next slide. Now, how do you integrate STEAM in your lessons? And this includes your physical education lessons. The science-related concepts are there, and I'm sure they are very much there in PE. The things to do with the body, I'm sure you can find things to do with physics. And if you look hard enough, I'm sure you can find the related chemistry and even the environmental sciences. You also will find in physical education, mathematics-related concepts. Yes, they are there, very much there. The measurements and the fields, you are the authority on it. You know it much more than I do. And it's about the various technologies. And of course, the design process can also be applied in physical education. So as facilitators, as teachers, and as instructors, it's drawing on you more now to develop these skills in yourselves so that you can be better able to integrate them when you plan for your lessons and you plan for your various classes. So I'm sure that at some point, you will be engaging in some workshops, whether where you go back to your schools, you could have a workshop that looks at the area, whatever area, because it is transdisciplinary, and see how best you can integrate the STEAM areas, the specific areas, and also the STEAM skills in whatever subject area, whatever lesson that you're preparing. Next slide. Components of a STEAM-focused classroom: corporate planning. So it's about teamwork, problem solving, real-world application of the content, design and conduct investigation. It's intentional, it's purposeful. So you can't just decide, you know, I had class yesterday and I'm walking to class today, what do I teach now? How do I pick up from yesterday? You have to sit and deliberately plan your lessons and decide, how am I going to really engage my students and develop these skills in them. It's about the use of technology and its ongoing assessment. So I'm going to also encourage you to go online. You can just do this as an autonomous learner and just explore the various tools, the various technologies that may be out there that you can integrate in your lesson and really get your students to become excited about learning. Okay, next slide, please. The curriculum, project-based, finding real-world problems, differentiation strategies. So this speaks to all your students, including our boys, and many of them often get probably bored with lectures. STEAM is transdisciplinary. It goes across subject areas. It's about the STEAM and the content standards, and you can find this kind of information online, and it focuses on content mastery, the application of knowledge, the development of skills, and it leads to proficiency in the application of the STEAM skills, the STEAM principles. Next slide. So for the students, cooperative learning, they begin to understand relationships. They begin to actively engage, collaborative. They design and they conduct investigations. They are very systematic in their approaches and they're able to use the necessary technologies. Okay, it's a lot about that. Next slide. So your student, they become so, they develop in the process, and you can see the transformation in them when you get them involved in this kind of thing. Next slide. All right, some of the strategies for integrating the innovation, the 21st century, we talk about project-based learning, the involvement in real-world projects. So you could ask them, whatever is applicable to your physical education area. This is about a sustainable community garden, using the principles of science, engineering, mathematics, artistic design. What it's saying here is that you have to find real-world projects that get them to apply the knowledge from multiple disciplines. So you can work with the language arts teacher, you can work with the mathematics teacher to come up with a project that integrates all these skills. We talk about design thinking, where they follow a structured process of defining problems, coming up with ideas, prototyping, testing solutions. And this is about, as I keep going back, the innovation and the creativity and addressing the complex challenges. Next one, please. Inquiry-based learning. You get them to ask questions, to explore possibilities, to conduct experiments, to come up with conclusions. In the process, they are developing their curiosity, their critical thinking, and their independent learning skills. So I keep saying that STEAM really makes your lessons exciting and engaging. The arts into STEAM, it creates their imagination, their creativity, their communication, aesthetic appreciation. They are able to solve problems from multiple perspectives. I remember after the hurricane, we had to engage with some of our students, and we used the arts to help them to process how they were feeling about it and the extent to which they could look forward to hope in that very dismal time. And it was interesting how the boys began to DJ, and they came up with poems, and they came up with drama and role play. Quite exciting. So these are ways in which you can integrate that in physical education as well. Next one. Collaborative learning, and a lot is about teamwork. Teamwork, which so much reflects real life, because in order for them to succeed in the world of work, they have to be able to work with others as a team. They have to be able to collaborate. They have to be able to entertain differences. And we see a lot of that now, even at the workplaces, with established professionals, experienced professionals who still have some challenges working with others as in a team setting and really engaging others. This is a high level skill. And teamwork means different things as you go up the ladder. This is a high level skill, and we have to begin to develop it in our students from early. Next slide, technology integration. I've spoken about that. There is a lot happening in that space, and you can take charge of your learning. I shared with Ashiber earlier today something about technology and AI that's coming up. And this is about AI and how we can use it. It's in TVET, but it can be applied to whatever subject area. And there's going to be the launch of the guide by UNESCO Univoc, and HEART is a UNESCO Univoc center, and we are going to be able to launch that guide. Next slide. So I hope we will share with you. Hands-on experiential learning, modeling, prototype, design, and so on. And I'm coming down now because I know my time is coming to an end. Next slide. Problem-based learning, learner-centered learning. You get them to make things. Next slide. Next one, please. Reflection, metacognition, where they think about what they are doing. So STEAM helps to develop the metacognitive skills. So this is where I end. That is the last slide. Critical thinking, problem solving. Could you just go to the last slide, please? It sums it all up. Communication, collaboration, teamwork, digital literacy, adaptability, flexibility, leadership, initiative, global awareness, entrepreneurship, lifelong learning. These are all STEAM skills. So thank you very much for the opportunity. And I hope this gets you thinking about how you can integrate STEAM in your physical education lessons.
Thank you, Dr. Ro Amundi, for that insightful presentation on STEAM in education. Doctor, before you leave, do you mind coming back on camera, please? Doctor, innovation is a word that will stay with me for a long time post this presentation. It's quite interesting. Your perspectives have certainly given us so much to reflect on. But before you go, Doctor, I would like to invite my colleague Odinga Weller to deliver the vote of thanks.
Hearing Odinga.
We're having some technical difficulties. Odinga? All right, so we are unable to hear Odinga, but Dr. Amundi, oh, we have him now.
Okay, my apologies. Dr. Amundi, on behalf of the organizing committee, a massive thank you. You have shown us STEAM in physical education isn't a buzzword. It is the game changer we need to bridge a gap between the classroom and the field. My biggest takeaway today was seeing how we can truly integrate technology and creativity to make movement matter more than ever. Thank you for bringing your energy, the expertise, and for showing us the future of our profession. You have definitely sparked some great ideas for us to take back to our own practice. Let's show our appreciation to Dr. Amundi with a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, Odinga. At, at this time, coming up next, Amoy and Ashiba will be joining us on set for an interactive, engaging STEAM experience. Amoy and Ashiba, take it away.
My name is Ashiba Ping, and with me is my presenter, Ms. Archer. Amon Archer will be demonstrating for us today how it is that we can use a simple physical activity such as climbing to create a rich team learning environment. By which we don't only engage our students physically, but we have them thinking critically, investigating, especially critically. Yes. For those who may not know or may have missed down and record your prediction for me, please, Miss Archer. And I'm also gonna invite those online to make your prediction as well and put it in the chat. How many I need? Let's be scientists now and test our predictions, Miss Archer.
All right, for those who are at home and are willing to participate, I'm going to ask that you count every step that you do because we have to take the prediction. Secondly, for those who are unable to participate due to disability or due to era constraints, you can always sit and do arm raisers instead. Perfect example. Thank you, Mr. Payne. So you can sit, arm raise, instead of doing the high knees.
I guess this makes this activity a bit more inclusive. Okay, now are we ready?
Ready.
On my count, 3, 2, 1, let's go. And stop. Wonderful. That looks hectic a moment ago. I hope we weren't too exhausted.
It was. Always remember to stay hydrated.
Please make a record of your actual score that you accomplished in the
So I actually got 55 high knees.
Awesome. Make a record of your actual score. I'm going to also ask those participating online who did the activity to make a recording of your actual score and put it in the chat for us. Okay? Awesome. So we just looked at one element of STEAM, which was science. Predicted, and we tested our prediction. Now let's look at the next element of STEAM. Interesting, technology. So oftentimes technology is used to collect data, record information, and to analyze performance. So, Ms. Archer, how is it that we could use a technology to make this activity much more engaging for us too?
All right, so normally when we're using, person normally think about electronic devices for technology. So people would normally use watches. On a simple smartwatch, we have different selections where we have You can test your heart rate, you can test your oxygen level, and you can test each step that you make every second. So every time you make a step, it is being tested on a watch. Now for your cell phone, everybody have a cell phone. So the watch, it has an app. So every single thing is recorded on your phone. So you can later on, maybe next week, 2 weeks, a month time, you can analyze that data. Another thing that I know that most persons won't know, simple cones. When you're doing a STEAM activity, cones are used as technology because once you have a device that is used to solve your problem, it can be technology.
I know many persons never thought of it in terms of that. Okay, wonderful. Let's move on to the next element of STEAM, which is engineering. Now, engineers modify activities and space to make things much more efficient for our learners to perform, or even make it much more safe, right? How is it, Ms. Archer, that we could redesign a simple physical activity as the marching high knees to make it much more engaging for our students?
All right, so engineering. Normally, if you're a teacher, you can go ahead and design the area for the students, or you can give the students the equipment and allow them to design it and carry out your class, right? I'm going to be doing 2 activities. So I'm going to do for persons who are disabled. Mr. Payne, can you share for me, please? So earlier I had asked if you are unable to participate due to disability or due to space constraints, you could simply do arm raises. Now, if we want to change it up, we can add hula hoop, go forward, touch the cone in front, forward, touch the cone to the side, forward, touch the cone to the other side. Simple activity for someone who is disabled. Now, for a student that is able-bodied, you take it away, Mr. Finn. We can simply give them 6 cones. So I can give a student 6 cones and ask them to create a working station to complete 10 high knees. So this is a simple rectangle that students can complete the 10 high knees. So I'm going to start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these are different ways how we can incorporate engineering into a simple physical education class. The teachers can engineer the activity, or you can allow the students to engineer it for themselves and still accomplish the task.
That's very interesting and keeps our students very much so engaged within our activities. I didn't know that as PE teachers, we are actually engineers. Now I can start moonlighting as an engineer. I've always wanted to do that. Very interesting activity. Let's now move on to another interesting element of STEAM, arts. Now this to me speaks of expressing oneself creatively and using different rhythms and culture. You can tap into also the cultural aspect to express yourself so they can communicate effectively. Let's see, Ms. Archer, how would you implement this art element of STEAM into this simple activity?
Okay, art. So we can do different types of movements. So earlier we were doing the high knees. Now we can switch it up. We can do jumping jacks. We can do straight leg bound. We can do butt kicks. Or we can put a little twist to it. We can meet the level of students where we can allow dance movements within our class activities. Mr. Payne, what do you have? So anything that is nowadays, we can add this to the class. So you can do willy bounce, you can do jiggy bounce. What are the different new stuff that we have in style, Mr. Payne? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I'm from decades ago.
Any new activities that is going on in this generation, you can add it to your classes to bring creativity, and you can still incorporate. So you can allow them to do the willy bounce, any dance, and you still have them doing the steps that you want them to do.
That was a lot of fun and seems much more engaging than a lot of simple activities in the classroom, the regular classroom. Wonderful. Now, this art element will allow our students to express themselves, build their confidence, and show their identity. All right, let's move into the next element of STEAM, which is mathematics.
Final one.
So students know, we want our students now to be able to read logically. How would we use mathematics, or how did we use mathematics in this simple activity with our students?
All right, so if we look back on the first activity that we did, as scientists, we normally predict and then we test. So if you look on my cue card, I had the prediction of 25 and I actually made 55 steps. Now I'm going to see the difference if I actually did more or did less. All right, so after my calculation, I have seen where I actually did 30 more than my predictions. So this is how we can incorporate math into a simple physical education lesson. Also, earlier where I was doing the engineering, I initially had 3 codes list, and then I added 3 more, and I gave the students the initiative to set out a new section so that they can complete the steps. And that is how we also add math. So 3 was there, I gave them 3, they got 6, and they had to rearrange the whole engineering section of the class.
Awesome, that was very engaging. Students now can connect the dots and see how relevant mathematics is when you add it to a physical activity like this. I'm going to also ask students, persons online, to compare your previous predictions to your actual score. Right? Now, another challenge that we could do, Ms. Archer, is to say, if Ms. Archer actually predicted that she could complete 25 high knees, and she actually did 55 in 30 seconds. At the same intensity, how many high knees do you believe Ms. Archer would complete in a minute? Type your responses in the chat. We look forward to your response. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
All right, again, Ms. Archer just demonstrated to us how, as physical education teachers, we can use these simple physical activities to create a rich STEAM learning environment for our students. One in which the students are not just participating physically, but they are thinking critically, they're designing, they're expressing themselves, and they can communicate effectively. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amoy and Ashiba, for that engaging STEAM experience. I'm hoping I could manage to do 25 high knees. So much knowledge to be gained from simple activities and so much creativity that can come out in our lessons. Coming up next, we have an interview with another special guest, Mr. Keon Broderick. Mr. Broderick is a respected educator and football coach with over 16 years of experience in youth development, physical education, and sport. He has served at several high schools in Jamaica, including Arden High School, Excelsior High School, and currently Vauxhall High School. He continues to promote fitness, discipline, teamwork, and leadership in all his capacities. As a football coach, he currently leads the Excelsior High School Manning Cup team and is widely recognized for his tactical expertise and commitment to player development. His coaching highlight came in the 2025 to 2026 season when he guided Excelsior to a historic double, winning both the Manning Cup and Olivier Shield titles. Mr. Broderick is known for his professionalism and dedication to shaping disciplined, confident, and successful young people both off and on the field. Help me welcome to the stage Coach Broderick. Thank you for joining us today, Coach Broderick. How are you? Coach Broderick, we are unable to hear you. Please check your audio. Still unable to hear you, Coach Broderick. Your audio is on. Are you hearing me clearly? Yes, you are hearing me clearly? All right, hold on. Let's just check the All right, Mr. Broderick, while we try to get your audio sorted, you can stay on, and I'll be just checking the chat in the meantime to see some of those predictions from the high knees. 25 high knees is a challenge for me, but I want to know from the audience, are you able to do 25 high knees, and how much can you get done in 30 seconds? Did you predict, and were you able to match up to your prediction? And how good were you at doing the mathematics section to calculating your prediction? I'm viewing the chat now, and I'm expecting some predictions. While we give another 30 seconds or so to get some predictions from the chat, I just want to touch back and see how STEAM can make activities so interactive. I had no idea about some of these things until I really started exploring STEAM and hearing from Dr. Amonde earlier and now from Ashiba and Amoy. It's really highlighting the benefits of STEAM and how STEAM can really change the view of a lesson and make it more fun. So now I'm looking in the chat and I'm seeing a number 20. Somebody's predicting 20 high knees. That's quite competent. That demonstrates some level of fitness. Looking to see if there's anybody else, but we're going to check in back with Mr. Broderick. Mr. Broderick, can we check your audio again? Still no sound, so some technical difficulties still happening, and I am quite excited for this conversation, and I know the audience will enjoy it, so please stick around, don't move. We'll get Mr. Broderick on for you. This man has won the Manning Cup title and the Olivia Shield title. Big deal for those football fans. I'm sure you are excited to hear from him and learn from him as much as possible. So while we get the audio sorted, we will be moving. We'll be moving to the next item on the program. Let's see if we can bring Mr. Ashiba Payne on screen. Mr. Payne, join us on screen. Ashiba, are you able to hear me?
Loud and clearly, Mr. Dale. Good day. Loud and clear, are you hearing me?
Mr. Payne, are you speaking?
Are you hearing me? Yes, I'm speaking.
Yes, I'm hearing you. Thank you, Ashiba, for joining us back on stage. Yeah, interesting topic, STEAM in physical education so far. So I just want to pick your brain a little bit, Mr. Payne, just to help the audience get a better feel and understanding of STEAM. So physical education is often viewed separate from traditional academic subjects. Why should physical education be viewed as an interdisciplinary subject, and how does STEAM align? Mr. Payne, are you hearing me still? How does STEAM align with Jamaica's national standards curriculum and current educational reforms? If you want me to go over the question, I can.
No, sir, Dale. It's a wonderful question. It's something I've been contemplating in recent times. So, you see, one of the most persistent misconceptions about physical education is, Mr. Dale, ladies and gentlemen, it is that it exists outside the academic curriculum. However, contemporary physical education is best understood as an interdisciplinary learning environment where science or scientific technology, mathematical, artistic, and social knowledge are applied simultaneously through STEAM, through movement. I apologize. So STEAM therefore does not add, Mr. Dale, to physical education. What it actually does is it reveals the academic complexities that already is embedded within physical education. Jamaican sprinting success is a clear example of this. When athletes such as Usain Bolt perform, we observe biomechanics and physiology. This is science, right? Reaction times and split times, this is mathematics. Motion analysis and performance tracking, this is technology. Equipment and track design, this is engineering. And rhythm, coordination, and expressive movement, this is the arts. This demonstrates, Mr. Dale, ladies and gentlemen, that elite sports is inherently interdisciplinary rather than subject specific. However, a critical issue, though, we must consider is that this knowledge often remains implicit rather than explicitly taught in our schools. This creates a gap between high performance sports science and school level physical education, limiting our students' awareness of the academic value, which is movement. STEAM therefore functions as a pedagogical bridge that makes this hidden curriculum visible and intentional. This aligns with Jamaica's National Standards Curriculum, NSC, which promotes competency-based inquiry-driven learning rather than rote memorization. Students are expected to investigate, analyze, communicate, and apply knowledge in authentic context. Physical education, Mr. Dale, naturally supports this through performance-based inquiry, where our students test, adjust, and evaluate movement strategies. In a sprint lesson, for example, learners investigate starting techniques. They would measure reaction time. They would analyze performance data and refine techniques based on evidence. This mirrors scientific inquiry processes rather than traditional physical training alone. Theoretically, this is supported by John Dewey's experiential learning philosophy, which positions learning as an engagement with real-world experiences. And David Cobb's experiential cycle, where learning emerges through experience, reflection, conceptualization, and experimentation. Levi Gotsky's social constructivism further explains how learning is developed through collaboration, dialogue, and guided interaction. A critical perspective, however, is that these theories assume a level of teacher facilitation capacity that may not always be present in resource-constrained or exam-driven school environments. This then highlights that while physical education is naturally interdisciplinary, its effectiveness depends heavily on pedagogical design and teacher preparedness. Ultimately, physical education should not be viewed as separate from academic learning, but as one of the most authentic environments for applied interdisciplinary education. The key challenge for us is not whether physical education is interdisciplinary, but whether education systems fully recognize and intentionally structure it as such.
So much information, Mr. Payne, and I'm going to touch on the interdisciplinary part of it and look at other areas of education. How can STEAM integration in physical education strengthen literacy, numeracy, scientific thinking, and the wider curriculum while preparing students with employability skills required in today's workforce?
I really do appreciate this question, Mr. Dale. You see, STEAM integration strengthens core curriculum competencies by embedding literacy, numeracy, and scientific reasoning within authentic physical activity, rather than just giving abstract instructions in a classroom. Take, for example, in a cardiovascular fitness lesson, students measure resting heart rates, engage in activity, and track their record and the recovery rates. Scientifically, they would have explored physiological adaptation, energy system, and body regulation. Mathematically, they calculate averages, percentages, and perform performance improvements. Technologically, they may use digital trackers or mobile applications. Linguistically, our learners communicate findings through reflection, explanation, and even peer feedback. What this does, Mr. Dale, it demonstrates a key pedagogical shift. Knowledge is not just separated by subject, but experienced as an integrated system of meaning making. However, a critical limitation is that such integration can become superficial if teachers focus only on adding tools, for example, adding more devices, and without them developing a deeper conceptual understanding. True STEAM learning requires epistemic integration. How do we know what we know? Not just active layering or activity layering, adding more. Literacy in physical education extends beyond reading and writing to disciplinary communication, which is interpreting the data, justifying decisions, and articulating performance analysis. Numeracy now becomes functional rather than abstract, embedded in real performance context. From an employability perspective, physical education also develops the 4 C's. What am I talking about here? The 4 C's: critical thinking, creativity, communication, and collaboration. Through physical education, critical thinking may be developed through tactical and performance analysis. Creativity may be developed through game modification and adaptive problem solving, while communication can be developed through feedback and explanation of strategies being used. Collaboration is evident through team-based decision making. These, Mr. Dale, align with global labor market expectations outlined by the World Economic Forum and the OECD competency frameworks, which prioritize adaptability, digital literacy, and problem solving over routine knowledge recall. A critical dimension often overlooked is that employability skills developed in physical education are stress tested in real time under uncertainty, time pressure, and even physical engagement. This makes physical education, ladies and gentlemen, uniquely valuable compared to purely cognitive classroom settings. Therefore, STEAM integrated physical education contributes not only to academic achievement, but to the development of transferable human capabilities essential for modern work environments. Great question. I appreciated that one.
Yes, and it's quite interesting. And we're going to just stay within the workforce for a minute. So you talk about STEAM and its employability and the holistic development, which for the workforce in this modern era is driven by education and knowledge. How can STEAM in physical education prepare students for future careers and national development?
Another interesting question. Seems as though you're doing a research, Mr. Dale. Well, let's define what is the knowledge economy. This can be defined by innovation, digital transformation, and the application of knowledge as a primary driver of economic growth, according to the World Bank. In this context, education must prepare our learners for unpredictable and evolving career paths. Physical education contributes by serving as an entry point into applied science, technology, and human performance industries. Modern sports is no longer athlete-centered alone. It is multidisciplinary. It is a multidisciplinary system involving biomechanists, data analysts, physiotherapists, psychologists, engineers, and sports scientists. A critical insight we must consider here is that many students are unaware that sport-related careers extend far beyond playing sport. This represents a structural visibility gap in career education that physical education, ladies and gentlemen, can directly address. When students analyze movement, interpret performance data, or evaluate training methods, they begin developing the analytical and scientific thinking required in these professions. For Jamaica, this is particularly significant. While national identity is strongly tied to athletic excellence, sustaining global competitiveness requires diversification into sports science, digital innovation, and knowledge-based industries. Vision 2030 Jamaica emphasizes human capital development as central to this transition. I apologize. However, a critical challenge is that access to technology, laboratories, and specialized training may be uneven across schools. These create potential inequalities in the depth of STEAM learning experiences, which must be addressed at a policy level. Bruner's discovery learning theory supports this approach, emphasizing that learners construct deeper understanding through exploration and problem solving rather than just passive instruction. Bruner facilitated this, all right? So physical education naturally facilitates this through experiential engagement. Ultimately, Sir Dale, STEAM in physical education does not only prepare athletes, it develops adaptable citizens capable of contributing to health technology, education, entrepreneurship, and national development.
Thank you for those intriguing information, Mr. Payne. I mean, so much going on and so much things to gain from STEAM. It's really overwhelming, and to think about it that some persons before today didn't have a lot of information about STEAM, but you also have some persons here who are quite knowledgeable about STEAM. And I'm looking at the comments in the chat, and I want to take a question from the chat for you, Mr. Payne. Richard wants to ask, what role can parents play in supporting STEAM and physical education? And I like this question because I'm intrigued to know if STEAM is just about in the classroom or it can be integrated at home as well.
This is wonderful. This is a very wonderful question because this is why we need more of these webinars to sensitize not just the physical education teachers, not just the students who participate, but also the parents to let them understand the importance of physical education, of integrating these integrated learning exercises into physical education. So it must move, as you mentioned, Mr. Dare, it must move beyond the classroom at home. So students must be thinking integratively in terms of becoming innovators at home.
Awesome, Mr. Payne. So now
I'm taking the opportunity to think creatively to solve problems while they're at home. So it's not just limited to the school environment. The home is a very important laboratory as well.
Awesome, Mr. Payne. And thank you, Richard, for that question. I hope Mr. Payne's answer would have sufficiently answered that, but really interesting topics, Mr. Payne. Mr. Payne, I would love to stay and have a chat with you for the rest of the evening. So much knowledge, so much interesting conversations to be had. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing with our audience. We'll see you later.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
At this time, we'll be trying again. We'll be getting Mr. Broderick back on screen. So at this time, I want to welcome Coach Broderick back to the platform. Coach Broderick, are you here with me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Great.
How are you doing today, sir?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, and lovely having you here. Big coach, Manning Cup and Olivia Shield champion. That has a nice little ring to it.
Definitely, and I hope you say that again this time next year.
I'll be sure to stay in tune to that, sir. So let's jump right into it, sir. As an educator, when did you first begin to see the value of integrated STEAM concept in your classroom? We have heard from the expert in Dr. Amonde telling us what it is, and Ashiba, it gave us some additional information, but let's take it directly into the classroom now.
All right, thank you. No, I can speak for myself as a lifelong learner. I would have been engaging in different learning opportunities, workshops, and also upgrading myself as an educator as well as a coach. And I thought to myself, and I thought about how it felt just sitting in a classroom, getting that lecture approach, just teacher disseminating information to me just like that. And it was not a great feeling. And I thought about the students that I had the privilege of engaging with, and I also reflected on my approach within the classroom as well as how I would have delivered my lessons. And I said to myself that I would not have enjoyed learning like this, just giving information, just getting information and trying to regurgitate that information. And I wanted to do something a little bit different and to engage the learners as best as possible and the best way they are able to learn. And that is when I was able to come up with the STEAM approach. And a part of my integration of the STEAM approach within my lesson is also to target those persons who are not necessarily physical education oriented, but they might have a mathematical intelligence. They might have spatial intelligence as well, and also linguistic intelligence. And so I wanted to integrate other disciplines, other subject areas, and I want students to be interested in my classes, even though this is a physical education class, even though they might not be athletic. I wanted them to be as engaged as the regular person in physical education. So I thought about the learner and how they could actually understand and get a little bit more out of the lesson. And that's when I started to challenge myself in terms of moving into the STEAM discipline.
Well, that's good on the part of you, sir. But something that you mentioned stood out to me. You mentioned that you reflected on the students and how they operated within your lessons. So my next question, what changes? Give me more examples of changes you would have observed in students when lessons includes elements of STEAM.
Definitely. Once I started to include those STEAM elements, we found out that the students would have been more collaborative in their effort. They communicated more in the class rather than just sitting and listening to what the teachers said. They would just work with each other on anything as it relates to problem solving, as it relates to critical thinking. And students began to become more engaged, more interested in the lesson just by collaborating more, just by speaking more, just by doing a hands-on activity. They began to become more engaging in the lesson. That was one of my key principles behind moving to the STEAM elements.
So you're pretty much saying that the students enjoy the lesson more with the STEAM approach. So teachers, that's something you can take away from this. So if you're not already using STEAM, and I want you to help me here, Coach Broderick, for teachers who are new to STEAM, what is the simplest step they can take to begin incorporating STEAM principles into their lesson?
Simply, you have to understand the different strands, the different elements of STEAM first, and then try to implement these strategies on a step-by-step basis. One lesson at a time is very, very important when you are new and you are implementing STEAM for the first time. Try to make sure you understand the different elements, the different strands, the science, the technology, the arts, the engineering, and the math. Try to understand what these things are and implement it one lesson at a time. Probably try to implement it with a lesson that you are comfortable with. Try to implement it in a lesson that you know you're going to get the best out of the students as much as possible. A lesson that they are comfortable with as well. So just like how we treat our classroom with the students, try to treat the implementation of STEAM on a step-by-step basis, from simple to complex.
I like that concept, sir. And I like that you mentioned using something that you're comfortable with. So a lesson that you're comfortable with, a subject, probably an activity. So just going outside for a little bit. So what would a STEAM infused practical lesson might be? I will talk about STEAM as it relates to physical education. So if there are physical education teachers on, what would this look like in a school setting?
All right, thank you. Now, for me, my lessons, I try to implement the flipped classroom method in my lessons a whole lot. So I would ask students to go home, give them assignments to go home, and also research information based on the lesson that is coming up. Now, a practical lesson in utilizing the STEAM approaches would mean that I'm going to give you something realistic to what I would have done. I can remember having a CSEC group just this year. I remember having a CSEC group, and one of the topics that we were looking at was how exercise actually affects the heart. And so in doing that lesson, I could have just give them the information in the classroom, presented probably on a PowerPoint presentation, but I did not. What I did was to bring them on the field, and I actually started the lesson with a warm-up activity, and that warm-up activity also included some amount of aerobics in it, so it allowed them to dance. But in dancing, I grouped the students and I asked them to actually come up with their respective routines. Now, that would take into consideration the art element of the STEAM lesson. So they would come up with their respective routine, and they would actually go ahead and demonstrate their routine, and I would select a winner. Just a short period of time, can be 1 minute, 2 minutes for them to come up with a routine and deliver that as well. Additionally, one of the things that we did, because we're looking at how exercise actually impacts the heart, we asked them also to measure their resting heart rate. And once the resting heart rate was measured before they did any physical activity, I asked them in their groups to make a notation of the resting heart rate. After making that notation of the resting heart rate, students were also asked to actually come up with different activities, physical activities, for their group members to participate in. Now, we also learn about the anaerobic and the aerobic respiration, and so they were specifically asked to come up with aerobic respiration exercises that would tap into their aerobic respiration. And so those way of creating those activities would take into consideration the engineering aspect, because they had to build the exercise. They are not coming to class looking at the teacher, asking the teacher what they are going to do. They build their exercise, and it has to be an aerobic exercise as well. In addition to that, we asked them also to utilize their smartwatches. We know students as well as ourselves, we have a lot of smartwatches wearing, and it's not only to tell the time. So we asked them to use the smartwatches to actually record their resting heart rate as well as the heart rate after they would have done the physical activity. And so a few students had it. At that point, I could have found at least one student in each group with a smartwatch. And so they were able to measure the resting heart rate using the smartwatch. And that will take into consideration the technology aspect. Additionally, because I use the flipped classroom, approach, giving them assignment, they would have understood that in trying to get the resting heart rate and the heart rate after exercise, they could actually test the pressure pulse of different persons within the class. So you have the carotid artery as well as the radial artery, which they could get the pulse from, the heartbeat from. After doing that, so they did the activities that they would have engineered. And they got the resting heart rate as well as the heart rate after they would have executed the exercise. Now, I asked them now to find the cardiac output of each member within their group. And everybody, as physical education teacher, we know that they take some amount of calculation to get the cardiac output. So they actually calculated or multiplied the heart rate after the exercise as well as their stroke volume. So they multiplied the heart rate and the stroke volume as well. And then they came up with the cardiac output. That gave them the opportunity to come up with the cardiac output. After coming up with the cardiac output, we realized that it was measured in milliliters. Now, to bring in another element of mathematics, I asked them to convert from milliliters to liters, and that would take into consideration the mathematical aspect, conversion in mathematics. So I found out that they collaborated a whole lot within the lesson, and as a result of that, there was a whole lot of communication. They had to be innovative, within the lesson just by coordinating their different activities, designing their different activities, and it was really good. And moving forward, it is something that I plan to continue in years to come in teaching my CSEC students, and as well as to implement it in other lessons as well.
Sir, that is awesome work you're doing, and that just reminded me of the same thing that Amoy and Ashiba did earlier with the maths and the calculation. So you see the maths can come out in several different forms, and finding out the cardio output and then converting it from milliliters to liters, that is exceptional work, and that will definitely help with preparing you for the lessons of life. So Coach Broderick, I have two more questions for you. I have one question here that I'll be giving you, and then I'm going to invite the chat to just one question for Mr. Broderick before we let him go. Sir, such an interesting chat. We want to keep you all day. So looking ahead now, Ms. Coach Broderick, what role do you believe STEAM education will play in preparing students for Jamaica's future?
Most definitely to develop students in becoming better critical thinkers and problem solvers will generate a great workforce for us in Jamaica. And I mean, I heard you guys on the webinar speaking about the different professions that can arrive from just having STEAM, from including or incorporating STEAM in your lesson. So incorporating STEAM in the lesson can actually help students to become better or become better persons in their professions in the areas of physical education. We heard about the different areas: physical training, physiotherapy, coaching as well. And there are so many careers that you can get from physical education. And once we deliver these lessons using the STEAM approach, then we can have better persons or more marketable persons within the workforce that can compete against persons globally. And I mean, that is the hallmark of a good nation, when we can compete globally, not only in track and field or football or in other sporting discipline, but in the workforce as well.
Mr. Coach, I mean, this is just awesome stuff, sir. And we're going to move over to the chat now for the last question for you. Here we go. From Cameron, what is the biggest mistake teachers make when trying to implement STEAM? That's a good one.
Yes, that's a very good question from Cameron. One of the biggest mistakes is trying to, especially with the technology aspect of STEAM, trying to believe that they need to find something expensive or something outlandish to incorporate the lesson. Just by the lesson that Miss Archer gave a while ago with the phones, we have simple technology that can be used to carry out the lesson. So it doesn't mean that you have to have something that is an appliance or something that is very expensive, but just think of it as anything that can enhance your lesson that entails technology in it. So nothing outlandish when you are doing the STEAM, it's regular things. Also, overthinking it. That is one of the major concepts. I mean, as physical education educators and educators in general, I believe there are sometimes we have been incorporating STEAM or some elements of STEAM in our lesson. Now it's now time for us to become intentional about what we do or what we incorporate in the lesson. You understand me? So instead of just teaching a lesson for teaching sake, incorporate or be intentional about incorporating the different elements of STEAM within your lessons.
Awesome, sir. I'm sure Cameron will be very, very pleased with that answer. But before you go, sir, thank you for your time. But we will be inviting our colleague, Amoy Archer, on stage to do the official vote of thanks.
Hi, Mr. Broderick. So on behalf of the students of the master's program, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to you for sharing such valuable insights on the importance of STEAM education. Thank you for highlighting how STEAM transforms learning by encouraging curiosity, creativity, and real-world problem solving. Your experience have shown us that meaningful learning happens when students are actively engaged and given opportunities to explore, innovate, and apply their knowledge. As we look forward to the future of education in Jamaica, your perspective on preparing students to become innovative thinkers, entrepreneurs, and globally competitive citizens has given us much to reflect on. Once again, thank you for taking the time to share your knowledge and passion with us. We truly appreciate your contribution and we are confident that your insights will inspire educators to embrace STEAM in education classroom.
Thank you, Amoy. It's a pleasure being here as well.
Thank you, Coach Broderick, and take care. Thank you, Amoy, as well. STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. It's more than just a collection of subjects. It's an approach to learning that encourages creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and problem solving. It prepares students not only to understand the world around them, but also to innovate and shape the future. Through today's discussion and activities, we have seen how STEAM connects classroom learning to real-life experiences, making education more practical, engaging, and meaningful. Whether in science experiments, digital tools, engineering challenges, artistic expression, or mathematical reasoning, STEAM helps students develop the skills needed for a rapid changing world. It reminds us that learning is not limited to textbooks. It's about exploration, curiosity, and applying knowledge in creative ways. At this time, I will be inviting my co-host, Stephanie, back on stage to take us through the rest of today's program. Stephanie, welcome back.
Thank you for having me back. It's great to be back.
Yes, so Stephanie, perspectives on STEAM. Let me ask you a question, Stephanie. What is one myth about STEAM that has changed for you today? And the audience, feel free to answer as well.
All right. Good afternoon again, everyone. So initially, when I heard of STEAM, and I'm talking years ago, I thought STEAM meant that you had to have projector and smart devices in order for you to actually achieve your STEAM objectives. And so the myth that I had is that STEAM means expensive tools. And I heard Mr. Broderick spoke to it. Now I'm having a better understanding that, listen, in order to bring out the creativity and the communication and the problem solving, you really don't need expensive tools. You just need the simple tools that you have to work with. And there you have it, STEAM and the skills of STEAM being unfolded using just those simple tools. So that myth of expense, away with it. Away with it, Mr. Deal.
I think that's a perspective that many persons, including myself, can relate to. What about the audience? Looking in the chat, I'm seeing that a lot of persons are also saying that this has changed for them. A stopwatch can be used instead of those expensive devices. Stephanie, this is where I take my leave. Over to you now. And
thank you so very much. Thank you very much, sir. Great segment there. Welcome again to everyone. It's great to be back with you. We have been taking in quite a bit. Lot of great ideas, and sometimes the best way to stay focused is to keep moving. Don't you agree? After all, we have been discussing physical activities, right? Physical activities has been at the center of our discussion today. And so I'm going to ask us to get ready to move and re-engage and refocus so that we can get into our next segment revived and revitalized. At this moment, it takes me great pleasure in inviting Miss Kamala Smith, one of our own master students, to take this section away and get us ready for what is yet to come. Kamala, welcome to the stage.
Hi, so I'm your girl Kamala. After steaming through that steam, come on. I'm here to bring on the vibes, the giveaways, and all the fun warm-ups, steaming up the body. But first, I want you guys to grab your phone, the Flow and the Digicel, to keep it flowing and to keep it digital. So while we're doing our activity for warm-up, we got to keep the phones, and we're going to take the email address that we have put on screen so that you can interact with me and collect your free gifts. All right, here, let's stand up. Let's get up. Get into the mood, working up the body, and start our activity. All right, guys? Come on, here we go. Are you ready?
Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, here we go. Starts with the head. Gotta work it out. Gonna keep the shoulders. Let's get the shoulders. Let's see how much warm-up activities we can get going. Make small circles from small to large. Let's go.
5, 4,
backwards.
2, 1, go.
All right, I like to keep moving, so let's go. Keep the vibe, keep the fun. Let's go. Keep it flowing. Now, we're gonna go side to side with our hands up in the air. Let's go. Come on. Keep it moving. You can put a little dance to it, you know. All right. We can go side to side with our hands. All right, here we go. All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. While we had it, we can do some squats, you know, because this is where I want you guys to take out your phone while squatting and see how multifaceted you guys are. So let's go. Take out your Flow phone, because this is where we're going to give all the phone cards. Here we go. For Flow, 930-44-944-84322. All right, that's for the Flow. If you don't get it, I can repeat it one more time as fast as I can. 930-444-59444-84322. I hope you guys get it. All right. Now, we're going to go side to side while collecting your digital phone number. All right, here we go. 86-46-92-887-7377. Let's go, squatting. All right. Come on. Get those digital out. Get your phone card. Tap it up. Here we go. 864-69-2887-7387. Now, I want us to do our little, as Sir Broderick said, we can just put our little thing. This is freestyle. And for me, we're going to do it freestyle. I want to go head, shoulder, knees, and toes. All right, here we go. Head, shoulder, knees, and toes. Head, shoulder, knees, and toe. Head, shoulder, knees, and toe. And keep the vibe flowing. Head, shoulder, knees, and toe. Head, shoulder, knees, and toe. Head, shoulders, knees, and toe. And keep the vibe flowing. Now, for me, this is my biggest giveaway. I know everybody's excited. So we're going to run around the house. We're going to grab some stuff. Guess what? The first thing I want you to grab is a pair of shoes. See? The left one, that's an indication. Just the left foot. Running track shoes. Oh, and I'm freestyling. And guess what? Next thing I want you to grab, a smartwatch. We're in a smart world. Come on, everybody's going technology-wise. And now, this is where we're going to stick a pin. Because this is where I want you to go around in the house and you're going to find a pin. You have to have a pin somewhere in your house. Come on, people, get a pin. Get a pin and stick a pin. And that's going to be a latch pin. And when you get all of that, guess what? You're going to take the pictures and send it to the email. The first person who send it to the email win a gift. Surprise. See you guys. Bye.
Amazing stuff right there. Thank you very much, Miss Smith. I was here moving in my chair. I hope you were moving wherever you are as well. As we move into the next segment of our discussion, we turn our attention to the next topic, technology, for better or for worse. That's exactly what we will be exploring in this segment. So whether you are watching from the stands or from your living room, experiencing sports as a fan has changed dramatically. And you would agree with me. From instant replays to second screen experience and social media, technology has transformed the way we connect with sport. And let us explore this journey with one of our very own master's students, Mr. Ordell Stewart. We welcome Mr. Stewart to the stage.
Thanks for having me, Stephanie. All right, as you said before, it has certainly changed. So the world of sport has changed immensely from what it was 30 years ago to what it is today. Technology has greatly impacted the way we play, officiate, promote, and broadcast sports. Greetings, my name is Ordell Stewart, and in this presentation I want to narrow in on how technology impacts the way fans experience sport. Technology in sport refers to the application of scientific tools, equipment, data system, and engineering to improve athletic performances, officiating, training, safety, and the fan experience. It is a broad field spanning hardware, software, and analytics. I think, gentlemen, right, so we want to look at different technologies in sports and how they impact the fan experience. We want to focus on how it impacts the fan experience for us able bodies, some of us those of us who are differently abled, the technology out there for the fan in the stadium, at home, and then we want to combine or look at the topic from both sides. So we want to say whether we agree with it or we disagree with it, whether it is for better or for worse. So my presentation is giving some issues, we're having some technical problems. So I will just go back to Stephanie and then I'll be back with you in a short while.
Thank you for exercising your patience. We encourage you just to hold with us while our technical team is resolving that brief issue that we're having. But in between time, while we're waiting, let us look at some fun facts in technology. Elite sprinters can be analyzed frame by frame. Let me say that again. We're looking at a fun fact. Elite sprinters can be analyzed frame by frame. What does this mean? And we're talking technology here. This means that a camera can record thousands of frames within just 1 second. And what is the purpose of that? So the purpose of that, having a camera recording the sprinter or the athlete or whomever is performing up to 1,000 times within frames per second, it allows the coach to actually analyze and break down the technique bit by bit so that proper examination and assessment of the technique can be done for improved performance. Now, yes, we have our smartphones, and our smartphones have cameras on them. Yes, and from time to time we would use them to video different movement. And as smart as our smartphones are, obviously they may not be able to do that technical aspect of the work. And so technology has taken the use of a camera so far to the point where coaches are having a wonderful experience in being able to see the frame by frame or the bit by bit or millisecond by millisecond execution of skill for their athletes. And as a result of that, we are having better performances from our athletes, greater improvements. All right. I realize that it seemed that we are ready for Mr. Stewart again. So I encourage us just to sit back and listen to this presentation. It promises to be a very interesting and engaging one. Thank you so much for your patience.
All right. So, you see, technology will definitely present some problem. As beautiful as technology is for sports, it will definitely present some problem. But let's go again. The world of sport has changed immensely from what it was 30 years ago to what it is today. Technology has greatly impacted the way we play, officiate, promote, broadcast, watch, and analyze the games we love. Greetings again. My name is Ardell Stewart. And in this presentation, I want to narrow in on how technology impacts the way fans experience sports. Technology in sports refers to the application of scientific tools, equipment, data system, and engineering to improve athletics performances, officiating, training, safety, and the fan experience. It is a broad field spanning hardware, software, and analytics. So let's begin with the in thing, social media. Now, social media has changed how fans experience sports. It's no longer passive experience, as fans can now feel like they are in a 24/7 global community. There's real-time highlights, direct connections with favorite athletes, and a digital family-like setting with your favorite team. The current FIFA World Cup is a testament to this. I am sure that the daily discussions and banterings about whose team is the best will continue until July 19th. So we all experience sports in different ways, right? So what about those of us who are differently abled? I want to speak a little on the sound shirt and the tactile haptic tablet for the deaf and the blind, respectively. These are innovations that were created to enhance the live stadium experience, as I said before, for the deaf and the blind. Now, the sound shirt is a wearable haptic technology that is designed to translate live stadium cheers into physical touch sensation. Yes. It allows deaf and hard of hearing fans to feel the energy from the crowd, the goals, every near misses, all the whoos and the ahs, that the atmosphere of a live stadium brings. Now, the shirt is embedded with a series of tiny vibration motors with cameras placed throughout the stadium. The shirt will vibrate according to where in the stadium the cheer is coming from. So if the cheer is coming from the north, then you know the left side of the shirt will vibrate. If it's coming from the south, then you know the right side will vibrate. For the blind fans, there's a tablet-like device with an interface with raised outlines of the playing areas and hundreds of optic motors underneath it. The fans place the finger or the hand on the device, and the vibration traces the movement of the player and the ball in real time. Some of them carry small magnet disc that glides across the tactile sports field while vibrating to indicate passes, tackles, and goals. The World Cup is currently happening in our football federation, right? I would love to see a few games live in these beautiful stadiums. Now, in the United States, there is a most amazing alternative to being in the stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, the Coliseum. Now, what you are looking at on your screen, this is not actual stadium footage, no. What you are looking at is the Coliseum. Yes, this is a sport event venue with specialized cameras and screens designed to give the real stadium experience. Now, cameras are pre-placed around the stadium that the game is being played that will provide the fans with varied views. You get a stadium experience with tables for eating, bar for drinking, and then it have a balcony and an outdoor terrace to sit and just unwind. This is definitely something that I would invest in. That is if I have the money anyway. But, you know, there have been talks that there are plans to renovate and upgrade the national stadium at Independence Park. I am so looking forward to this. Maybe we could get seamless entry, no long lines, first-class concessionaires who they take your food to you while you sit. You just scan a QR code and the food comes to you. That sounds like a long stretch, right? What if I tell you then it's not? Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine entering a stadium after you purchase your tickets online, right? You get to the entrance and you walk right in. Now, at the Geodis Park Stadium, once the ticket you purchase online is saved in your phone and that phone is on your person, the system scans you and you will only be approached if the scan reveals that something illegal is on you. If that's the case, then you will be barred from entering the stadium. So you get inside the stadium and you need something to eat. You walk into a concession stand, you take up what you want, and you walk right out. Yes, so you just take up what you want and walk out. Once there is a readable payment method on your person, the system automatically collects the amount you need to pay. Somebody please say technology. Now, the flip side. Technology can create the most unpleasant experience for fans. But before we continue, I'm asking that my viewers click the QR code on the screen and join a poll that I will have coming up. What I want to hold on. Let me just take this call. Hello? Yeah, I am in a present. Bro, I'm presenting. No, I haven't seen your message. Hold on. All right, I'll check. Can you believe this man is telling me Messi is better than Mbappe? Crazy, right? By the way, let us use that as my poll. Let's see what you think. Is Mbappe the best player at the World Cup? Is he better than both Messi and Ronaldo, or even both of them combined? Wow. Now look at those comments. Look at those comments. The poll results leads us perfectly into our first issue with technology in sport. Bullying. Bullying and social media can cause the most unpleasant experience of sports lovers. No longer are people allowed to have a personal opinion about a quote-unquote favorite player or team. Sharing such opinion online might lead to that fan being called some of the most derogatory names, even getting threats from other players or other users, sorry. There are cases where fans bully fans bully athletes. And then you have the worst case scenario where the athlete bullies a fan online so everybody else can see. There's also the concept I want to refer to as from hero to villain, where a favorite player may become the one you hate the most based on the exposure of his personal life online. Social media has opened the door for fans to get a peek into the off-the-field lives of athletes, some of whom are living some very undesirable lives. I have a friend who personally don't like Mbappe because of the online story that broke saying that his ex was born a man. Now, information such as this would not be readily available without the creation of social media space. Other issues. Instant reviews and automated systems such as VAR in sports, in football, they break the natural flow of the game, leading to long, frustrating stoppages for fans watching both in the stadium and at home, as it relates to ticket costs and the accessibility. The multi-million-dollar investment required for high-tech stadiums and digital broadcasting can inflate ticket prices, pricing out traditional working class supporters like me and you. Fans attending high-tech arenas are often subjected to pervasive data collection through mobile apps, ticketing software, and stadium Wi-Fi tracking, a possible serious data privacy issue that we must pay attention to. The availability of live games online, that's great for fans, no doubt. However, apps and sports sites can charge very exorbitant fees. Also, credit card information required to subscribe to sports apps and sites can lead to possible scams. So fans are encouraged to be very, very careful. There's no doubt technology has enhanced the sporting experience for fans, players, officials, sponsors, etc. But not everything that glitters is gold. So stakeholders overall, and in this case, the fans must be consciously aware of the flip side to these innovations. We just saw just now when we started the webinar, we had tons of issues. Even now we're having issues. And so these are some of the issues that will come with technology. So we have to be mindful that we will enjoy something and then sometimes it's man-made, so it will present problems. Technology and sports, for better or for worse. I would love our national stadium looking like the Geodis. So my lean is towards for better. But what say you? Thank you. You go back to Stephanie.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Stewart. A very thought-provoking presentation. I took two things from your presentation, though. I love the fact that technology, for better, has improved inclusivity. Yes, inclusion for all. And the drawback that I am mulling over is accessibility. And as we continue with this discussion, technology for better, for worse, we have heard from some experts, we have heard from other presenters, but it's always very interesting to hear what the wider public has to say. And sometimes some of the most thought-provoking conversations happens in the streets, you would agree with me. And so Mr. Odinga Weller has taken the discussion beyond this webinar and he has taken it to the streets. And so we are going right into that section to hear what it is that the wider public has to say about this topic, technology in sport. Is it for better or is it for worse? Mr. Weller, Take us to the
Everyone,
street.
I am Odinga, and today we are on the street exploring the perception of technology in sports. Technology is reshaping nearly every way we enjoy or participate in sports. From VAR in football, to wearable fitness trackers, to instant replay videos. Technology is becoming an essential element of sports. But does it improve sport or diminish it? Today we are in the street, and this is what we want to find out from the different individuals. Who do we have here today?
I'm Jonathan Bryce from Blackover High School.
Alright, Jonathan, right? The first question that I have for you today is, when you hear the phrase technology in sports, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
The first thing that would come to mind is equipments, like things that enhance the game, meaning like camera quality, cameras, sports equipments like treadmills, weights. That was what I think.
Good day. Today we're here with
Sekola Cole.
Okay, Miss Cole. The question that I have for you today is, when you hear the phrase technology in sports, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Video analyst.
Today we're here with
Savannah McLeod.
Okay, Mr. McLeod. The first question that I have for you today is, when you hear the phrase technology in sports, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Technology in sports, I think about the equipments, like the camera, the scoreboard used to tell the scores.
All right, good day, viewers. Today we're here with
Carrie Knight.
Okay, Miss Knight. All right, the first question for you today is, when you hear the phrase technology in sports, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Video replay, computer applications, stuff like that.
Have you ever seen technology affect the outcome of a sporting event, and what happened?
Yes, technology affects it in many ways. Like when you're watching a football game, you can have a drone to see the entire pitch. So if you're watching it on a television or on your phone, you can see the entire pitch to see what is going on, see the different people, the coaches, and even the fans in the stands.
Okay. Have you ever seen technology affect the outcome of a sporting event, and what actually happened?
Oh yes, I've seen it affect sports positively in terms of having new advanced technology devices.
So, have you ever seen technology affect the outcome of a sporting event, and what happened?
Yes, I have actually seen that. I was watching a game, I think it was the Miami Heat against the Boston Celtics. I think it was a game, NBA Finals, I think, where the AC malfunctioned, and because the malfunction, the game was postponed because the athletes could not perform in the heat.
Have you ever seen technology affect the outcome of a sporting event, and what actually happened?
Most definitely. Track and field, for instance, we have the finish line cameras. It helps to basically take the human error out.
Okay. Have you ever seen technology affect the outcome of a sporting event, and what actually happened?
For sure. I recall some years ago, it was an offside decision in a football match where a player's sleeve, a portion of the sleeve, was said to be offside, so the goal was disallowed.
Do you think technology has made the sport better or worse? Or sports overall better or worse?
It has made it overall better, but there are also some negative effects of it. Like, let me start off with positives first. Let's make it better by the athletes can train themselves better for preparing themselves for sporting events. They can train better. It increases their mental health in a way, because there's some technology, some sport equipments that they can listen to music while they're training and other things. The negatives that I would say is sometimes some of them will use the equipments, will overdo it and will overstimulate their bodies, that can cause injury before sporting events.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that technology has made sports better or worse?
I think it has definitely improved sports. My reason being that track and field originally it started from leather shoes and wooden spurs or spikes, and they had to dig holes instead of the blocks. And again, with basketball, it was a peach basket and a leather ball that they used. Now it's a leather ball and a net.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. McLeod.
You're welcome, sir.
Do you think that technology has made sports better or worse overall?
I believe that she has to make it better once if it used in the right way.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Look, do you think technology has made sports better or worse?
It depends, because it is better because then the technology makes it is so precise with the technology, so that makes it better, but then it also loses the natural flavor and energy, because now everything has to be stopped and take a look at it and then you come back, so it kind of breaks the flow. So the momentum shifts, but it is more precise.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Okay, so that is it. Today we heard a variety of different opinions. Some people believe that technology improves sports and its accuracy, while others believe that it takes away from the human element and the excitement of the game. One thing is clear, technology in sports continues to spark a debate. Is it for better or is it for worse? We will let you decide.
Thank you very much there, Mr. Weller. Indeed, that was a mouthful from our participants out there in the streets. Yes, certainly technology is either for better or for worse, and we could debate or discuss this topic for hours on ending, but we do not have hours on ending. And so it leads me now into the next segment, where we're going to have an invigorating and exciting discussion with some experts in different areas of physical education. We're talking about from an officiating angle, coach's angle, physical education teacher angle, the medical angle. So I have a panelist of gentlemen who together they have decades of experience in different areas of sports. And so I want to introduce all of these gentlemen individually and then move right into our discussion. We have with us this afternoon Mr. Valdin Legister. Mr. Legister is a CONCACAF referees assessor and instructor. He is also the president of the Jamaica Referees Association. Mr. Legister, we are happy to have you, sir. Welcome. We also have with us
Thank you.
Mr. Patrick. Thank you, sir. We also have with us Mr. Patrick Owen. He's a teacher. He teaches at Mark Elementary, and that's in Pompano Beach, Florida. He's also a football coach for Plantation FC Rush. He is also the founder of the company The Dribbler Sports. Thank you, sir. Great to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
We also have on our panel Mr. Ludlow Watts. Mr. Ludlow Watts is a retired banker. Mr. Watts has served for 20 years as the treasurer of the J3As. Mr. Watts, it's our pleasure to have you tonight. Mr. Watts, if you're there, it would be nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you may, we'd kindly ask you to turn your camera on so that we can see you once it is okay for you to do so. We also have us this afternoon a physiotherapist, Mr. Odane Pinnock. Mr. Pinnock is a physiotherapist at Sir John Golding Rehabilitation Center. He has expertise in injury prevention, rehabilitation, and helping individuals just to get back safely to what they were before the injury. Mr. Pinnock brings a valuable clinical perspective to our discussion this afternoon. And we also have with us an elite athlete, Kaib Dixon. He's a member of the national football team. He also plays for EFL Championship Club, that's Charlton Athletic, and his position is the winger. Delighted to have you on, Mr. Dixon. We have a wonderful lineup for you. Gentlemen, thank you so very much. I can tell that all the microphones are indeed working because you would have responded.
Sure.
Beautiful. Let us go straight to our discussion. I'm going to ask you, though, if it is possible to kindly mute your microphones, and then when you are called upon, you can unmute your microphone. I'm just reliably informed that Mr. Waugh is also here with us. Coach Waugh, yes, we want to welcome Coach Waugh as well. Thank you so very much for joining us, sir. Coach Waugh, he has been a coach for several years, very experienced coach, and he is also the head of coaching educational at CONCACAF. Sir, welcome. It's our pleasure to have you.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to be here. Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon, panelists.
Good afternoon. Lovely. And so we're going to go straight into our discussion this afternoon. I really want to hear our panelists' perspective on the topic, technology in sports for better or for worse. And so we're going to move. Well, let me start this way. We've all watched a game where maybe a close call would have changed the outcome of the game. And nowadays, everyone seems to have an opinion of their own after watching the replay. And then it makes you wonder whether technology has been making officiating easier, or is it simply raising expectations? And I'd like to hear from our event official on this perspective. Mr. Legister, in your opinion, sir, has the growing reliance on technology in officiating enhanced decision making, or has it undermined the authority and judgment of the officials?
Good afternoon again, and thank you for that question. I just want to start by saying that the laws of the game has always allowed referees to make decisions, and that decision is final. So that has not changed. I'm sure you can appreciate that referees are human beings and are prone to making mistakes. And hence why we do a lot of training to improve movement and positioning and angle of view. Now, when referees have the best angle of view, then they are able to make the correct decisions. At times, we find that the referee is not in the best position and hence may make an incorrect decision. Now, that is when VAR, the technology that we are speaking of, will step in and say, hey, Mr. Referee, I think you would have missed some details. Come and have a look. Now, the referee will go to the monitor and based on the facts that are presented, will still make a decision. So it's not the technology that is making the decision. It is still the referee. But at this point, the referee is presented with the facts that he or she might have missed. The referee will then take a decision to stay with the on-field or will change based on the evidence or the facts that are presented. So I just want to underscore the point that it is not the technology that is making the decision. It is the referee that is making the decision. But what is happening because of technology and the facts that is presented, the referee is now able to make a factual decision based on the facts presented. So for me, it's not reliance on the technology and it is not undermining the authority of the referee. It is just presenting to the referee facts so he can make an informed decision. And that will help to improve the integrity of the game for all stakeholders, the coaches who are here, the players who are here, and the fans who are here will be happy that the correct decision is made in the end. So yes, kudos to technology. FIFA has seen this and have invested a lot in technology over the years. And I might draw back your memory to 1986 with that game with Argentina and England. If we had technology like we have now, at that time, our history would have been a little bit different. So for me, technology is good.
Yes.
And I encourage us to maintain the use of technology.
Technology. Thank you so very much, Mr. Legister. Well said. And I'm sure that there are mixed feelings because some persons are still of the opinion that technology, in some respect, it's a lovely innovation and it's really assisting our officials. But at some point, they object. But thank you very much for that response. It is really appreciated, and I'm sure that somebody has taken something from that with the understanding, a better understanding. I want to move right along. Thank you, sir. You may mute your microphone till I get back to you. So many of us remember what physical education classes were like, right? Whistle and you get a ball, and some of the times you use the ball and you just play until you're so tired you can't even move to the next lesson or to the next class. But walk into some schools today though, and you will find fitness apps, probably some digital assessment becoming a part of the regular physical education class. What I want to understand is how that shift is changing in the physical education classroom space. And so I am moving right over to Mr. Lewin, Mr. Patrick Lewin. Sir, in your opinion, has technology improved physical education overall, or has it created more challenges? Let us hear your perspective.
For me, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I are you guys hearing me?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so I am one who is always rooting for technology inside the classroom as a physical education teacher. Without any doubt, I know that it has improved learning, and I could speak of the whole pandemic and what I saw just utilizing technology after the pandemic, going back to school, and the use of technology, whether it's the Promethean board or you name it, whichever wearable fitness monitors that teachers or PE teachers are allowed to use to make life easier for us, for the kids to at least see for themselves. They can literally see, like, if they're resting heart rate versus their working heart rate.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your response.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
We're moving right along. Very brief,
You're welcome.
concise, and to the point, and we appreciate that. Behind
Yeah, because Steph, as I listened to you answer that question to Patrick, and Patrick, long time brethren, I started to reflect on when I was a PE teacher myself, and we used to have our whistle around our neck, and I see now
Right.
PE teachers walking with this digital thing, like, you squeeze and it makes the sound,
Yes.
and I think, we're seeing technology is here to stay, as Wandel said the other night when we were meeting and preparing for all of this. It's not going anywhere, and I support the two panelists who earlier said that there have been some positive outcome. I think anything in any space, there's going to be negative, and I think even with the
Yes.
VAR, the fact that the referee has to
Yes.
make the decision, then the subjective element is still there.
Right.
But I think technology has done far more good
Than
than
evil.
bad, and just it being connected to the commercial viability of sport
Yeah, far more
makes
good
it
than
even
that.
more relevant. You can't separate that. I mean,
That's true.
2 seasons ago, I was match commissioner in the Gold Cup, and one of the things that we pride ourselves on was to ensure that at the point when the players were coming out, they call it a sterile tunnel, that there's nobody, there is no marketing, there's nothing. And I'm sitting there now watching the World Cup, and I see Ronaldinho standing there and shaking people's hand and all of that, because all of that is linked to his social media platform, and FIFA has recognized that traditional media is not the only thing. People would much rather go on the internet, Ronaldinho Instagram page, and see him greeting the player than sitting down watching TVG or anything like that. So it's here. It's here,
It's here to
people, and
stay.
it's not going anywhere.
It's here to stay. That's the fact.
Yeah.
That
I
is
just
a
thought I'd
fact.
chime in on that, given my experience.
And
as a
we
PE teacher.
yes, we do appreciate that. We do appreciate that. Thank you so very much. And that is what makes it a discussion. Thank you so
Yeah.
very much.
Miss Griffiths.
We move right on.
Miss
Yes, sir.
Griffiths.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'd just like to add that how technology it has fundamentally improved PE by shifting the focus from athletic talent to individual effort. And this is where the wearable fitness monitors and you name it, all these gadgets that they come into play, and it makes, you know, a lot of times you hear people talk about the inclusive classroom, classroom more highly inclusive for non-athletes. So instead of having someone sitting on the couch, you could have them being engaged in a simple game that has them moving. And originally or usually you wouldn't get them on the court to have them like they'll complain about the heat, they'll complain about something else. But just with the influence of technology and making this like a game, like they are playing a Nintendo game or something, it's showing what to do or telling them what to do. They enjoy it more and would rather feel at ease doing it than being, you know, out inside the classroom where they are exposed to other students. And previously, as Mr. Ardell spoke about the bullying, like cyberbullying or social bullying, whatever it is called, you know, a kid would feel more comfortable in their living room doing an activity that it's presented to them by the use of technology.
Yes, I do agree with you. And we could continue this discussion back and forth and would never end. There's so much to talk about. That's the reality. But I need to get to the other panelists. So, gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to just hold it together. It's very exciting, and I understand that. I know. And a good discussion is one that you never want to end. All right? But thank you so very much for your input, Mr. Waugh, and for your extension to your point there, Mr. Lewin. Thank you. Behind every successful event or program, sports program or sports event, is that one individual or that team that has to make some difficult decisions about budgeting and prioritizing where to spend the money. And so technology, yes, it has promised a lot of exciting possibilities, but it also comes at a cost, right? And so I want us to hear from an administrative perspective of how some of these decisions are made. And we have with us Mr. Ludlow Watts. He's going to help us to understand how technology is involved in that area of sport. Mr. Watts, welcome again. My question to you, sir, from an administrative perspective, how is it that technology has guided how you carried out your duties?
Good afternoon again. Let me say that as an administrator for track and field,
Mr. Watts,
yes.
I'm so sorry to break you, but your camera is still off. I'm not sure if you're trying to get it on and it is not happening, but your camera is still off. If you're able to get it on, thank you so very much. You're on now.
As an administrator for track and field, we aim to maintain the legacy of being ranked in the top 4 in the world in track and field. But with that goes a lot of difficulty, and of course, technology has served us well. Part of our long-term goal is growing the sport, attracting new persons to athletics, budgeting for growth, bringing new and younger age group to the sport, use of equipment and technology, tracking performances of our athletes, investing in coaches, investing in local and international competitions, and providing adequate medical treatment. And we provide assistance to athletes and building sponsors' trust. So by saying that now, so we budget. what we do in track and field, we deal with a lot of athletes. As you probably know, we have over 1,000 senior athletes in competition. And many of them live all over the world. So in terms of the budgeting aspect, we use online banking, as you all know, online banking, and that provides you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, makes transaction easier. We can do transactions wherever we go in the world. I'll be traveling this weekend, for instance, and I know I'll be dealing with my finance department in terms of doing certain transactions, and it makes things easier. We complete our audit within 6 weeks, audit from audited financial companies within 6 weeks of our financial year. Every year we do that because of how we deal with our financial aspects. But when we look at our situation, we have to look at growing the athlete from the beginning. So we spend a lot of our money, like last year, would have spent 19 million for equipment to deal with the development meets, the local development meets we have on a stadium and some Saturdays evening. And sometimes when we have an Olympic year, or certain year, we spend up to 70 million for development meets. So we spend a lot of money in terms of building the base. Technology now, back to the technology. You will see that in track and field, we have false starts and we have a lot of equipment, and that's very important because when you have, so we build the equipment to do with start information system, and then it merges with the photo finish camera, it merges with the wind gauge, because sometimes you would have seen over the weekend when Christopher Taylor did 20.08 in the 200 meters, and it was wind aided. Once it's 2.22 is the maximum you can go. So what happens is that without that, and you will see that in the schools and a lot of competitions that they don't have wind gauge, you would not know the real time because you don't know the wind reading. So the system that we have now, it merges the start information system, false start. It goes with the clock, the finish line clock, the camera, the wind gauge, and all of them are synchronized. So it picks up all these things. So that is very important. And let us say, I heard somebody mention a while ago about technology, about it is those equipment actually assist the starter in making the decision, because most times the starter would see it for himself, but the equipment actually records it. But sometimes it's so close, minuscule, 0.100 is the acceptable time. But if you go before that, 0.097, you cannot pick up that with your naked eye. But the system that World Athletics is that if you have this system that is working and working efficiently, we have to go with the equipment in the final analysis. So that's one area. And I would say also, if you look at the jumps, if you look at, say, the discus, again, you throw the discus, but there's a total station and a prism that links this where the implement falls, and then links to the clock and links to the radio station and link to where it wants to go in the world immediately. But if there's a world record, you have to use a manual thing to go with it. You have to go with the tape, the steel tape. You have to use to go with this. So once you record, you have to use both of them because you want to make sure that there is reasonable coordination in terms of the distances, 0.00 centimeter and that sort of thing. So you use both of them in world records, and that's why it goes whenever I have world records, we use both the manual and the thing. Use them, the technology one, but use the manual one to go with it to confirm that yes, this is so. And so we have all these areas. So training and development, coaches. We talk about technology. We send out of our coaches overseas yearly to upgrade their skills in terms of meeting the necessary and the new technologies relating to coaching and use of implements. We invest in local and international competitions. A lot of our athletes go overseas, like World Championships, Common Games, everything. And we would have spent in our budget, we would have spent like $290 million each year for competitions, overseas competitions, or $300 million. That's the type of money we spend. So we have to look into the type of competitions that we have, and then we look at the cost airfares and all the things that go with it, and then we actually budget for.
So I'm gonna stop you there, Mr. Watson.
Okay.
You have shared quite a bit, and my takeaway from this is that you spend big, so to speak, to get accuracy or to ensure that there's accuracy in terms of officiating. That's what I'm getting.
Yes.
Tell me if that is the situation.
That is the situation.
Right. So thank you very much. We understand that. All right. I'm going to come right back to you, but I need to hear from another perspective. So hold your thoughts, and I'm going to get back to you shortly. Thank you so very much, though. You have done very well. Let's move on. So there's an old saying that a great coach relies on instinct. Today, many also rely on data. They also rely on video analysis and performance tracking. The question is, where does the experience of the coach and technology meet? And that brings me now to our coach, Coach Waugh. Sir, help us to understand, how has technology changed coaching compared to 10 years ago, and what are the noticeable improvements?
Firstly, it's a long time I don't hear somebody call me Coach Waugh, but I take it, it still sounds good.
All right.
I think though, like everything else, it's evolving, and one of the things that we have learned, and I think it's something that we always try to ensure that our coaches know and understand and appreciate to some degree, is that the eyes will fool you. You don't want to spend your time always using your eyes as the only test. You want to ensure that you're arming yourselves with several tools that can aid your decisions, so your decisions become data-driven. And we're seeing more and more in sport, especially in the local space, that we're beginning to appreciate and begin to use a lot more technology. Certainly in track and field, they have been pioneers in terms of the jumps, the sprints, whatever it is, just supporting the athlete in using all of that. But for us, we're analyzing the game, we're assessing the game, and there are a lot of tools to be used, but the coach also has to be in charge of the tool, because I find that, you can get so much information, and not all information is useful, and not all information makes sense for the player. So the coach himself has to be able to first grasp that, interpret it, and then also present it to the players and to the rest of the coaching staff so that it makes sense. So just like the VAR system, it relies on the subjective analysis of the individual to make the decision. It's the same thing in our space, because numbers in and of itself alone tell a story, or it can tell any story depending on how you present it. So coaches must be in a position to say, okay, this is what I need, this is how we present it. Because our players, and Kaima know is here, they don't want anything beyond 5 minutes. Any coach that thinks that they're the greatest, pre-game top person and going to half an hour, they've already tuned you out. So how you get that in bite size and everything. But I know our topic surrounds a lot around the use of technology in sport. But one of the things that I want to throw in the mix now is that technology is sport, and the e-sport industry is like 3.3 billion, anywhere between 3 billion and 5 billion. That is what is estimated now. And by 2030 is expected to get up to about 12 billion US dollars. So technology in and of itself is sport. We have people playing chess with people all over the world. We have people even on the FIFA game. Recently I was in Portugal and I went into this arena and to see some futsal thing. That's what we thought we were going to see. But then the gentleman showed us, no, we're really setting up an e-sport tournament, massive operation. So that's also something to consider, which is one of the reasons why technology ain't going nowhere.
Thank you so much, sir. I believe we're definitely going to need a part 2 of this discussion, because there is just so much yet that we have to really talk about. And It's just a lot. Thank you again, Mr. Waugh, and you've given me the permission to call you Coach Waugh. Thank you, sir. Ah, for athletes, recovery is just as important as their training program. And so I want to invite Mr. Pinnock to the conversation. Mr. Pinnock, how has technology enhanced injury prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation for athletes?
Okay, good evening, everyone. All right, so for us as physiotherapists, using technology, we have a few things we want to consider. We want to consider diagnosing the issue, treating, and then rehabilitating that issue. So in diagnosing that issue, what we can use is, and it's being used a lot now, is cameras and high-speed cameras. So we can pick up on very fine movement patterns that are either going to lead to issues or have led to the issue. With this, we analyze the biomechanics of the joints to really see how this joint was out of alignment, which muscle was not firing at the right time, things of that nature. We use biometrics as well. So things like heart rate monitors the oxygen level. And what that does is, at times when players get tired, that's when the form breaks down. That's when they start to get the injuries occurring. And then when we move into areas like the treatment now, we have diagnostic technology. So we have things like ultrasound, which I have used, where we can see the very muscle fiber that has been torn, so you don't end up treating the wrong muscle. They have a lot of very fine muscles sometimes that run along the same path, and you might start addressing one that isn't the main issue. So we have that. We have things such as blood flow restriction technology, which simulates fatigue in muscles, so we can use lower weights in a recovery period, so we don't have to have a athlete using very intense weights that can cause re-injury, things like that. We use force plates, which can tell us where in the legs the force is being driven through most. And we know how we have that equal force going through both legs is best. We don't want one leg overpowering. That in turn over time is how a lot of injuries happen. So we use technology in ways to see what's going wrong, correct it, and treat during our treatment sessions.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Pinnock. Real rich information as it pertains to the medical aspect. At the center of all of this innovation, you know who is there? The athlete. This athlete is at the center of all of this, and so whatever the technology is, this athlete is at the center. And past generation could never imagine the experience that athletes in this generation is experiencing as it pertains to technology in sports. And this leads me to invite Mr. Dixon to the conversation. Mr. Dixon, welcome. Great to have you. Good evening. Tell us, how has technology changed the way you prepare for competition and help you in recovery?
Well, for me, like, how I prepare, like, with technology, like, I use the head of department, sports department at the club. Like, they have my database, which is from, you have the catapult, like, who in sports know what I'm talking, that track everything that surrounds in, like, your heart rate, if you're muscle fatigue, like, whether or not they know what to do and they tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when you check, like, back like, in what? Like, in the 90s, 80s, like, my dad used to play. He didn't have nothing like that. He would just come, train, that's it. Like, it's done. Which now with me, like, I can come and say, I'm not feeling well today. Then look, let's check his database, see what's going on wrong with him. oh look, he has done 13 kilometer yesterday in the game. Like we need to rest him. Like he can't go out there to train. Like that's how technology has become like a part of my life. Like I wish my dad is getting this experience now. Like he would have become way better. He would be an injury prone, to be honest. And also for my recovery, like I use like technology, like you have the you have what's that one called? The one that I always use. Like the physiotherapy, like you know what I'm talking. Like I call like we have the oxygen chamber now, like which is a big part of your recovery now. Like in the UK, like that's what most clubs be using. And with the oxygen chamber, like you help you relax, help you sleep. Like I remember, like before moved to the UK, like in Jamaica, we didn't have technology as a big part of like after a game. But like when I played a game, I would have like problem to wake up, like because I would have gone bed like 4 o'clock after a game, and then to wake up is it's hard, to be honest. But now with the technology, they're like you can sleep, like ensure that you sleep in a cool area. It's totally darkness, like no light, which I didn't know that before. So I thought I could just like play a game. They say like, oh, you're tired, you can go sleep same time. But now with technology, I know that I need to sleep this time. Say if the game finished like 9, I reach home like 10:30, 11. They're like, you need to sleep by 12:30. And that's the big part of technology, to be honest. Like it even helps like the physiotherapy. Like now you have the head of sports science that they are the one who done everything, then hand it over to the physiotherapists. So the physiotherapy know what level the players at just cause of technology. Like it's not nothing where a man is running out on the field. What happened to him foot? What happened to him pull a muscle? Now you have an MRI. If you want to know what happened to a player, you can do an MRI. Simple. Like football has gone way beyond, to be honest. Like for me, it's a big thing. Like it's helped me recover like every time, like technology, to be honest. And I really accept that, to be honest. But for me, like everything with technology, it's not a thing to depend on, to be honest. If you're being honest, it's not a thing to depend on to say, oh, technology this, technology that. Like it's not gonna always be like it's technology. Yeah, the world is advancing, but you're not gonna need technology all the way, to be honest. Yeah, that's me.
All right.
Kaim, your father didn't even have water to drink.
Oh no, I'm not.
But on a serious note, though, as I hear you ask Kaim about how to prepare and all of that, one of the things that came back to my mind was my time when I worked with the Reggae Boys. And one of the first things you had to know, no matter where you land, was the Wi-Fi code. Because before they even knew about the room where they're sleeping, the food, coach, you have the Wi-Fi code. And
that is it.
You'll be surprised of even not having the Wi-Fi code. Even in the stadium before games, you have to make sure you have those little things.
Yes.
Because people begin to feel disconnected and they become uncomfortable. So when you talk about even preparation, the technology itself can interfere, because then again you have Kaim sitting up and him say I'm going to sleep 4 o'clock. He's on his phone. There's also a bad side to it. So
this is good stuff. This is really
so
good stuff.
It impacts on all levels. It's not just what we're seeing on the outside, the social media, the VAR and all of that. Even the players themselves and how they live daily. There's a great reliance on technology itself.
Thank you so very much. We are out of time, and to be very honest with you, I really don't want to bring this conversation or this discussion to a close, but we are working with a strict time period, and so I'm going to have to wrap it up at this time. But gentlemen, I really appreciate the discussion. I thank you so very much. You have all shared your experience. You have shared some valuable information, and I am certain that our audience, our participants, have been enriched I myself have been enriched, and I just want to say thank you so very, very much. We do appreciate you. Thank you all for coming. I think we need a part 2 of this, and we will look into that.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank
Blessings,
you. Bless.
panelists.
You're most welcome. I just want
Thanks
to
for having us.
encourage. You're welcome. I want to encourage our attendees or participants to look in the chat or comment section for an evaluation form. It is very important that we get your feedback on this presentation. At this point in time, I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm going to invite one of our members to do the vote of thanks for us. This person is Mr. Stewart. And so can we have Mr. Stewart on to just wrap this session off, bring it to a close. Again, I thank these gentlemen for such an awesome discussion. Mr. Stewart, are you with us? While Mr. Stewart is being brought from backstage to the platform that we can see him, I'm going to remind our participants of the evaluation form that has been posted in the chat or in the comment section on the various platforms. We're asking you kindly to complete that, as it is important to get a feedback so we know how to prepare and improve to serve you better. Thank you. Mr. Stewart is ready.
So we have held our breath for almost 3 hours. Now it's time to breathe. Breathe and be thankful. On the behalf of the 2026 Masters Group, I want to express sincerest gratitude to our presenters. With something this majestic, I find it fitting that these big ups be done royally. To the queen in the pack of the presenters, Dr. Amunde, to the 7 kings, Mr. Broderick, Mr. Legister, Mr. Watts, Mr. Lewing, Mr. Pinnock, Mr. Dixon, and Mr. Waugh. The contribution you have made to this webinar is invaluable. We have learned a lot, and I am sure our viewers will agree. To our assessors and our specially invited guests, the viewers who joined us on the different platforms, thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I want to switch this up a bit because we have some big ups. Big up our sponsors, Mr. Smith and the Flavor Solution team, Ms. Kamala Smith. Without the contributions, this would never have been possible. And a big up from me to the other members of the 26 squad, the host them, the rest of the team. You did well. Big up on yourself. There were some late night sessions, some that came with some serious bad up. To get it together when we slack off. But most came with the sincerest motivation and affirmation that we will do well. Mrs. Legister, big up yourself. You taught and we learned. Art, love, and respect. Again, my name is Ardell Stewart, and we sign off from this episode. Until next time, we look forward to all our panelists joining us again, all our guests joining and help us to make the next one a successful one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stewart. Thank you so very much. This brings us to the end of today's webinar. We trust that the discussion has been insightful and engaging. Kindly remember to complete the evaluation form, especially if you would love to have an e-certificate, then go ahead and complete that evaluation form. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in our next session. Have a great rest of day. Thank you.
Juega Ladies. Juega Ladies. Juega Ladies. Juega Ladies.